Sorry, I just was something else I was doing. Yeah, we can help them so easily. We've got the way to help them with health, wealth and time freedom, and we've got to make the most of it and really, really push this in front of everyone. And I don't mean keep going on and on about Juice Plus, but I just mean showing and sharing our lifestyle. So you've got to remember that your audience is feeling stuffed, bloated, fed up, skint, thinking about New Year's resolutions and wanting to get fit, at least some of those things. So, and we've got a way of helping them with all of that. So we need to be posting regularly throughout the day things like, are you feeling stuffed? Just single little one-liners is a good thing to do. What's your resolution, your New Year's resolution? Because this is a massive time for us to connect with people and to share their pains and how we can help them. And even by us saying to ourselves, saying also, I feel stuffed, I feel bloated, and, I haven't felt like this for ages. And it's so easy to forget how we used to feel, because we feel amazing most of the time. And when I actually start feeling the really pants, I had a rough night's sleep the other night, which is really unusual for me. And, you need to post about it because people feel like this all of the time. So we need to, be letting them know that, that they can avoid that. They don't have to be feeling like that. So we need to connect with them and ask people, what is your New Year's resolution? What are you doing? What are your plans for the new year? I'm just reading my notes here. Like I say, ask them questions. Okay, and when people start posting things like they can't sleep and they're having problems, then private message, make a comment on there, but don't say, hey, use Juice Plus. Just make a little comment on there, so I really feel sorry for you. It's horrible not being able to sleep or whatever. And then message them privately with a comment and just sort of say to them, that you can help them. And private message them in that way, so that you're not posting it all on their Facebook, so that you're just doing it privately. That's what I tend to do. You'll also be able to see if you've spoken to them before, what conversations you've had with them, so that you can build up the conversation again with them, because you'll be surprised. That's what I find happens so much, that I connect with someone again because they've made a comment on their Facebook, and then I realise I've had a long conversation with them before. I can't remember all the conversations that I've had with people, but I go back over that conversation and just have a little look. Like I say, post what you're feeling like, whether you're feeling bloated and stuffed or whatever else. People need to see that you're taking the capsules regularly, even on Christmas morning. They need to see that you're doing those and taking your shakes. The same on New Year's Day, that sort of thing. We've just got to be showing people all the time that we are a product of the product, that we are actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. Don't mention Juice Plus. I really don't want anyone to be mentioning Juice Plus. Call them your magic beans, call them your safety belt, call them your handful of goodness. I always think that's a better way to refer to them. I find that works so much better. They need to know what you're doing in your day. You must let them know what you're doing in your day. But ask questions on your profile. So let's reflect on 2016 to make 2017 better. So what is your New Year's resolution? What are you feeling? What are you feeling that you're going to be able to do the following year, next year, to make anything different? Like I said about feeling stuffed and eating too much. Whose house is full of toys? Whose house is leftover food everywhere? All of these sort of things we've got to keep posting about, That doesn't mean to say that you're posting about Juice Plus, but you're just posting about what you're experiencing at home at the moment. Post about the 45-day shred that we're all going to be starting in January. Now, I know we've been doing the 45-day shred leading up to Christmas, but we can do the same shred, and we can now call it the 45 shred throughout January leading up to the spring, because it's only about 3 months to spring. That's 12 weeks. That's absolutely nothing before we're sort of getting into the springtime. And obviously we often say that summer bodies are made in winter. We need to be posting about that. So you must be posting about your pains. things like, are you dreading the January credit card bill coming through? Because everyone did. I could remember back to when I absolutely dreaded January because I'd spent out at Christmas time. And that's what people seem to do. Obviously, we all spend out too much at Christmas time. So if you're dreading the credit card bill coming in, we've got a way of helping people with this. If they've spent out too much over the Christmas time, do they want this to be a better than last? Sorry, what have I got here? Want this to be the last skint Christmas they've ever had? Those sort of things. You can keep posting about all of those sort of things between now and New Year, and into the New Year for that matter. But this period of time between Christmas and the New Year is an absolute phenomenal time to be able to be doing all that. What are you wanting to book your holiday? Lots of people want to book a holiday, and they're starting to see holiday adverts on telly, but they can't afford it. You know, with a few months with doing Juice Plus and doing our business, who knows, you know, if they work at it right, if they do what they should be doing, and for us to help them and show them how to do this thing, then you'll be surprised. They could well be earning enough to have a summer holiday. And that's absolutely life-changing for people, and we've got the chance to be able to, you know, help them do that. You know, people want change. If they don't make change now, then why would they expect their life to change, you know? And so therefore, you know, we need to be helping them and showing them this opportunity to do that. Now, there's a big thing that we need to be doing is following up with our customers and following up with our teamies and people that we've spoken to over the last month, and really, to be honest, throughout the year. Let's go back through all the people and follow up, because the fortune, that's the word I'm looking for. The fortune's in the follow-up, guys. And there's so many people we don't do that. So we need to make sure that we get back to our customers and we connect with them and try and get as much as we can going, finding out what their New Year's resolution is, finding out how we can help them. So that's just a few things that I want to go through with you guys. I don't know, Louise, if you've got some things you want to add, and then I can come back if there's some more things. If you unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm all unmuted, I think.
Well done.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so just going basically over what sort of I've been doing. Bit like Jeanette, I've had a couple of days, not off over Christmas, still been posting, but probably a couple of days a little bit quieter, which I think is always good to do every now and then. Don't do it all the time, but I think it's actually really good just sometimes to step away from the business and have, you know, really have a bit of family time and spend time with obviously the people that you love, and I think it's really important to just clear your head as well. So a couple of things that I've been doing is obviously carrying up with my posting and adding people and connecting with them. I think that's really, really important, and doing my birthday wishes. Even on Christmas Day, I still wished everyone a happy birthday. I think that's really important. It's such an easy way to connect with someone. And it's actually, you know, some of you might think, well, what's the point in saying happy birthday to someone? But you know, it does get you orders sometimes, and it's just such an easy way to connect with people. So I would always recommend you do that. And a bit like what Jeanette was saying, you know, this is the perfect time to connect with people, because I am constantly seeing on Facebook, I don't want to go back to work, I've eaten so much, you know. Think about, even if you're not making loads of money in the business right now, the business, even if you're making £100, £200, it's still an extra £100, £200 from what maybe you were this time last year. And that £200 a month could really help a lot of people. And I know a lot of people do overspend at Christmas and moving into January thinking, shit, how am I going to pay for it? Or, you know, they're worried, or they've, you know, spent a lot of money on credit cards, which is me. This is exactly what I used to do. I just used to think, I'm just going to deal with it in January. I want my kids or my family to have the best Christmas, so I'm going to use my credit card, and then I'll worry about it when it comes in. And then obviously it comes in and the bill comes in and you're more and more panicky. So now is the perfect time to offer people the opportunity. And one of the things you need to be really focusing on is this is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, and you probably hear this all the time, but this is something that I used to hear all the time, but it never actually got into my head until sort of really just recently, is that, you know, everything we do is a numbers game. So the more people you talk to, the more no's you're going to get. And it's not a no, it's a no, not yet. You know, these people that you're talking to are going to come back to you. And the more people you speak to now, these people will come back to you. I promise you will. You know, it's just so important to connect with people and ask them questions, find out. Don't say to them, hi, I do Juice Plus, do you want to buy it from me? Or hi, you know, don't like ram the business in their throat. Ask them questions. They enjoy their job. Do they want to go back to work? Would they be looking to earn a little bit of extra money every month? You know, try and be a little bit different and really find out about them. Don't just be too quick to talk about the business to people. I think sometimes that's what puts people off, is that you're thinking in your head, I've got to speak to 10 people about the business today. So you're just going through the numbers, but really try and connect with those people, because it's far better to do that and ask questions and genuinely be interested in them, to just go through the numbers. So you know, I think it's much better to speak to 5 people, but you know, really take a genuine interest in them than to talk to 20 people and actually not find out what it is that they want. So that would be what I would be really spending, you know, the majority of your time. And Cara actually put up a pyramid, I think it was last month, which was amazing, of how you should be spending your time. You know, and scrolling through Facebook, that should be the least thing that you're doing. And I always say to my team, you know, I don't want to see you liking and commenting on loads of my posts, because that means you're on Facebook too much. I don't do it very often. I might go at the end of the day and have a quick look at my team and what they've been posting and like and comment on a few of their stuff then. But generally, I'm not actually on Facebook, because, you know, I think we really need to be focusing on connecting with people and actually staying off Facebook, because Facebook is such, for us, it's such a, like, takes your mind away from what you're supposed to be doing. There's so many times, because it becomes habit, that I've gone, oh, I'm just going to do this, and 10 minutes later I've not done what I'm supposed to have done, because I flicked through Facebook for 10 minutes. And I think it's such a time waster for us. So really try and get really like focused on what you want to be doing and the time that you need to be doing it. And that's another thing that I've really been trying to be strict on for me, is schedulising my time. Me and Jeanette both got taught this by Simon Mitchell when we first started his group, is schedulising your time. And it's so important. And if you study successful people, a lot of them will be really strict on their schedules. And we had to do this schedule, which at first me and Jeanette both really struggled with it. We were like, how are we going to even put it down on a bit of paper? Like, I think that was probably one of the hardest tasks we had to do. And when I did it, and I think Jeanette felt the same, we were both a bit like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it actually made sense and made me feel so much more structured with exactly what I was doing throughout the week. It gave me time away from the business. And I think, again, it's really important when you're working on the business to work in it and be solid and focused. And then when you're not, put your phone down and stay away from the business. Otherwise, you feel like you are working 24 hours a day. You feel like you're constantly working. And I think, one, that can be obviously quite tiring. And two, the people around you always look at you and like, God, she's on her phone again, or do you know what I mean? So then they become a little bit negative towards everything and towards your business, because it looks like you're always on your phone and you're never actually concentrating on them, being there with them. So I think it's really important to be quite strict on your schedule. And, you know, when you're in the business, be focused in the business. And when you're not, be around your family and be with your friends. You know, there is nothing worse. And I hate it when you're out with someone and they're constantly on their phone. I hate it. So I think it's really, yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly that. When you're even on a Zoom call, sometimes you can sit, like, we can see your faces. We can see the people that are on the phone. But it's really one-off-putting, because you're like, oh God, I'm obviously not very interesting because everyone's on their phone. But at the same time, we are all so conditioned that we've got to be doing this business all the time, that we're then like, I'm going to just try and message this person while I'm on this Zoom call. And you're not doing either of your jobs properly. You're not listening to the Zoom call, and also you're not probably messaging that person back properly. So it's really important to be in whatever, you know, concentrate your time on what you're supposed to be doing at that moment. So that would be something that I would really encourage you to look at as you move forward into 2017, is structure your time and really stick to it. And, you know, say to your team, not that you're, you know, not going to be there for them, because of course you are, but like on a Thursday night, my is time that I've scheduled for my team to have one-to-ones with, and things like that. So sometimes actually being not readily available for your team makes them stand up and become a leader themselves, and that's obviously what we want to do as well. We want to bring in lots of leaders into the business, and you know, obviously yes, we want to support them, but it's really important that at the same time they can get out there and do it as well. I'm just trying to think. Oh, and yeah, going back on what Jeanette said about following up, I've just followed up with everyone from December, and one, I forgot how many people I'd actually spoken to about the business and the products, and two, it was not embarrassing, but I was like, God, I can't believe I hadn't followed up with that person. They were really interested. So always remember to follow up with people. I know it's something we talk about all the time, but it's, again, so easy to do or forget to do sometimes. So really trying to keep track and going back on your DMO of the last few weeks, and always make sure that you're following up with people, because it's so true, the fortune is in the follow-up. And just get excited, like, without a doubt, like you're obviously all on the call, and it's really exciting because a lot of people are probably watching EastEnders. I don't even know what's on television at this time of night, but you know what I mean, like, this is just the perfect time to really move forward into January, you know, and to get excited, because January through to, well, the summer really is our biggest months, and it's just the best time. So yeah, I'm not going to waffle on too much more.
No, that's brilliant, Louise. I mean, yeah, that scheduling thing was absolutely phenomenal, because, you know, you had to section out in the day on a piece of paper what you had to do each day, like get the children ready for school, get them to school, what you did at lunchtime, or how you go to work, what breaks you had in the day, all that sort of thing. So you could really see at a glance what your day was structured like. And so therefore that I realised that I had between certain hours that I could do the business and certain hours that I could then go out and play with the children, or you know, go shopping or spend some time with someone else or do one-to-ones or whatever. And you then didn't feel guilty, and you weren't spending all your time with your phone while you're doing the dinner, amusing the kids and trying to do 3 things at once and not ever doing any of them properly.
You just end up getting so stressed. I remember when Simon first set the task, and I actually did it and stayed strict with my schedule. I felt so much more relaxed, and I'll hold my hands up, like, I haven't stuck to it for the past few weeks.
No.
So I come back to it, and I've got my schedule back out, and I'm being really, really strict on it. And I think it's just, honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things I learned from him was to schedulize your time and stick to it, because also it makes you realize what you're spending your time doing. And when I came down to sit and do it, I thought, but I don't actually know what I'm doing with my business. And that's one of the most stupidest things I realized, because if I don't know what I'm doing with my business, how am I ever going to move it forward? Because there's no structure to it. So it's so important to know exactly where you're spending most of your time. And when you sit down and you write it out, it makes it really clear in your head. And that's what's that's what's so important. And another thing that is really important is that, that you know exactly where you're spending your time and what you're spending your time doing, so that then you can get better. So, you know, if you're not spending enough time connecting with people and adding people, you know, you can improve on that. Or if you're spending too much time doing those things, then you know, you can jiggle it around a little bit. And it's not set in stone. It's not like you know, well, I didn't have this Zoom call scheduled into my schedule, so that means I'm not going to get on it. It can be moved around. That's absolutely fine. But what it does is it just stops you, I think, for me, working on this business all the time but not properly. It gives me really focused. And I think something that Sinead talks about is, you know, we shouldn't be doing why should we be working 9 to 5, and who even set those hours up? Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be doing a set amount of time to do something. You can do this business in 2 to 3 hours a day. So there's no reason for you to be on your phone all the time. That's just something that we've all created.
Yeah, definitely. I know for a fact, 'cause if I think I've got an hour spare now where I can go and do some work on the business, I then go and get on with it and focus on it because I've got an hour to do it. Whereas if I feel I've got all day to do it, then you don't actually get anything done. And to be honest, since I've gone, left my full-time work and been doing this, I actually went through a period of time when I was actually worse. Because I felt I'd got all day and I wasn't structured. I speak to a lot of people that have gone full-time into this, or left their full-time work, and they felt the same. So I found that a bit difficult, to be honest, and having a bit of a structure has definitely helped. I don't say that I do Juice Plus full-time. I say that I do Juice Plus part-time, and the other part-time is time freedom. Because I think what a lot of people do is they leave their full-time work and then they say that they're going into Juice Plus to do it full-time. So that's they're no further ahead than what they were when they were working full-time. So I try to say that I'm working part-time on my business, and my other part-time is my time freedom, where I can go to the gym, where I can do the horses, where I can do, if I want to go shopping, I want to do things, I can do what I want to do. So I think that is more appealing to people than saying I'm doing Juice Plus full time. So that's how I find I work it, because I didn't ever want to say that I was doing Juice Plus full time, because I don't think that's the right thing to do. But scheduling is so important. So Zara, you said you wanted to you post yours later on, Louise.
I'll post mine in the group. Yeah, it's a bit ruffled because it's been screwed up, and
that's right, and it does change. It does change and evolve as time goes on, but scheduling is so much better. And I think also if you schedule it and you post it, put a note up so that the family can see that you're working on your business between 8 and 10, and you do not want to be disturbed, then that's no different to you going and doing a bar job somewhere. And I think if you structure it like that a little bit more, I actually think your family appreciate it, as long as you've put your phone down between 4 and 6 or 4 and 7.
Yeah, you've got to be strict with it.
Yeah, so that you've got your undivided attention on the family, putting the kids to bed or whatever else you're doing. And I think everyone
having a bit of you time, like we had to schedule in, didn't we, time for us, whether it be like half an hour just to go and take yourself. But I think that's something really important as well.
That's right, your own time, because you are forever your mum, your chief cook and bottle washer, or whatever you want to call it. Then you're a partner to someone. When are you just you? When are you just you? And it's even worse for mums or single parents or anyone like that. It really is. So scheduling is absolutely key, so that you can feel very positive, very fired up with doing your business. And you can then follow up and do all these little tips that we're just saying, because you've got to get excited on Facebook. You've got to let people know that you're excited about what you're doing, and if you suddenly, I say this quite a lot and I'll say it again, but if you suddenly you're doing something, you think, I can't wait, we're going to be doing this, we've got a Zoom call tonight or whatever, post about it. People have got to see your excitement, and they've got to think, what the hell is this woman on, let's have some of that. And that really does work. It becomes sort of infectious and contagious, so to speak, and you must post like that as much as you can. Something I picked up that John Holowati said the other day was that he does this review over his whole year. I don't know if you saw it as well, Lou, but he's got a diary which is a page. The whole month is a page, isn't it? And so he can see at a glance what he's done. So I've been out and I've bought myself a little weekly planner. I don't know if you can see that. It's got no date, but it's a week at a time. So I'm going to be able to, I'm planning on filling this in over the whole of the year, so that at the end of next year, I shall be able to go back over this and I'll be able to see how focused I was that month, that week.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good because, you know, you can see there's a bit on the back here with notes and to-do lists and things. And I just thought that was quite a neat little thing to have, you know. So I'm just going to be filling that in. Just simple stuff like I did a Zoom call, did a one-to-one, met at the coffee shop, you know, that sort of thing. So that I can see that they're the sort of what I call action taken things that I'm going to be doing. So I'm actually going to be filling that in through the year. I'm planning on doing that. The other thing I've started doing, and I don't know if you guys have been doing it, but this thing on a piece of card, so you can actually see at a glance what you've been doing. I've done it the first time in December, and I am intending on doing the same throughout all next year. But I basically got a list of people that I've been connecting with about the product on one side and the business on the other. And I just find it so much easier. I can see it a bit more at a glance. I had all that in my DMO book, and I still have got it in my DMO book. But I just think this is much easier to keep my tab on. So I'm going to be doing that a little bit more. So I think that's a great thing to try and do if you can all do that. So I think that's pretty much it, really. You know, be excited over these next 3 or 4 days. Be up for, you know, posting about your pains, watching other people's pains, and, you know, just thinking back to how you were before you started this business. What was Christmas like this year for you compared to Christmas last year? You know, just try and think about if you're new to the business, you know, just think what would make a difference to you next Christmas, all of those sort of things. I can remember absolutely hating Christmas. I never got started on my Christmas shopping until the very last minute because I didn't want to start spending money. And I knew once I started, I wouldn't stop. And I used to leave it to the very last minute. This year I was able to get my Christmas sorted out a lot earlier. It's much more enjoyable. I'm not going to be dreading the credit cards coming in. So they're all things that I'm posting about because, you know, it's so easy to take for granted what we have now, but you need to think back to what you were like before, and you need to be posting about it because you are going to trigger a thought or someone that's going to connect with you because you're triggering a thought that they are feeling now, and you're reminding them of that because that's what you were like. So you need to be doing that and thinking hard about you and what affects you at Christmas time, and, you know, and afterwards, because obviously we've got to pay for this throughout January. They'll be dreading the credit cards coming in on January, and then there's February credit cards as well. And, you know, we've got the chance of helping them to sort this out, you know, and this is what is so amazingly exciting. But like Louisa said, like we've both said, following up was absolutely key. You know, go through your inbox, go through all your DMO books and connect back with all these people and ask them a simple question, you know, what is your New Year's resolution? Have you got any plans on making, you know, what is your New Year's resolution this year? What are you going to be doing? Also, the other thing I want to just quickly say is everyone is posting on Facebook, Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, all that sort of thing. If you know, spend a bit of time and just reply to them and say Happy Christmas back to them. You know, that's just going to connect you all through all again. So that's really important to do that as well. But obviously, you know, set yourself, let's say, I don't know, 20 minutes for doing that. Don't go and sit on it and do it for hours and hours. Just set yourself a little bit of time so that you can actually do that, particularly as there was so much about, and there will be so much around on New Year's Eve. So, you know, you could be quite productive and do that and connect with a lot of people. So, okay, I don't know if there's any more questions that have been coming up. Has anyone got any questions that can pop in the group other than schedule and help?
Also, the last thing I was going to say, just coming back to customer care, I'm going to actually start doing weekly emails to my customers. because I think we all spend, again, a little bit too much time on Facebook, and because obviously we use it for work, I obviously message most of my customers through Facebook, and I think actually sometimes taking them back and do it on email. So I'm going to start doing like a weekly little newsletter for them and sending them a healthy recipe every single week, and trying to connect with them through an email rather than just on Facebook, because some people just prefer contact through there. Obviously everybody's different, but I think it's just important to, I think sometimes it looks a little bit more professional coming for an email rather than on Facebook Messenger. So that's what I'm going to be doing, because obviously, as we know, customer care is so important, and without a doubt customers become your best teamies. So if you're not posting in the support groups every day, you need to be doing that. And really, because it's so true, if you don't do it, your customers won't do it, and then you're never going to know if they're going to make an amazing teamie or not, because if you're not posting, they won't. And that's how I've got a lot of my team, is by watching them in the customer groups. So you definitely need to be posting in the support groups and showing that you're on plan, and it's not just all about the product, it's showing that you can share healthy recipes, that you're drinking all your lots of water, anything that you find has helped you as well. So that would be another thing that I would recommend that you all do if you're not already.
Yeah, also when we place our orders on the office, we've got the chance of sending all these e-cards out. I've spent a little bit of time last night just having a little look through those, and I think they're quite useful. It's something that we've not actually done much before, but they are really quite useful. So I do challenge all of you guys to go and take a little look at those e-cards and just see what you can do, because you'll be surprised that you've already set up their email addresses into that, and they get sent this nice email with a personal message from yourself with a nice pretty picture to do with Juice Plus. And I think that's really quite nice, actually. It's something that's there that we can use and utilise. And I just don't know, I think there has been someone in the team that uses them all the time. I'd be interested to hear from them, but I know that definitely that's something that I'm going to sort of start thinking about doing this year as well anyway. So if there's any more questions at all, that would be absolutely amazing if you drop it in the group. But other than that,
I think Rebecca had a question. She did put up, I'm trying to think, is it Rebecca?
Yeah, might be.
Where has it gone? Rebecca, I don't know if she's still on.
She did say she had a question, I think, but we did.
I don't know if you've still got it or we've answered it.
Can I speak and ask a question at the end, is what she said. Are you still there, Rebecca? Or has she disappeared? I can see she's on here still, but maybe she can't hear us. But that doesn't matter. That's fine. She can ask us again. That'll be fine. Okay, guys. So a little quick picture. I'll allow you to get your phones out. And again, if you've got any questions, you can post them, or we can post them in the group, and I'll try and catch up with them. Have we got any questions? No. So shall we have a funny face picture? Hang on, I can't wave and take a photograph. Let's take it.
Yes, definitely start posting about getting excited about Birmingham. Should be talking about Birmingham now every time, every day.
I know, we've got Liverpool.
And Liverpool.
Who's going to Liverpool? That's what I want to know. Zara is, Louise is, I am. Who else is going to Liverpool? Anyone else? No, Liverpool's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, any questions? Pop them in the group chat. We'll try and get back to you if we can. That would be great. I'm glad you've taken lots of notes, Bob. I know you're away, so that's brilliant. So have an amazing week, guys. Let's smash these last 4 days. I'm so excited. We've got so much to share with people. It's absolutely amazing. So just go and hustle as much as you can. Any questions, then pop them in the groups. We're all here to help you, because we just absolutely want to smash this business and help others feel as amazing as what we do. Okay, guys, catch you later. Bye. Bye.